Hello. Okay, I'm sorry I didn't do it yesterday. I was a bit busy with all your reports, but here we go. So, where did we get to? The three children are just about to meet the prince, okay, and they're trying to get him on their side so they can help defeat the king and therefore hopefully get the villagers to like them so when they go back they'll be safe. But Malanga, who was like the butler in the prince's house, made some sort of comment that the prince might not be what they expect, so we'll see. But here we go. Chapter 34. What do you think he meant? Said Chaya, tucking it into her rice and shredded spinach curry. They were eating at the small table near the kitchen, just the three of them, and the table was full of food. Malanga was presumably dining elsewhere in the house with Sina. Sina was the prince, isn't he? I'm not sure, said Nil, eating ravenously. Should we be worried? Noir, looking fresh and clean once again, spooned some long beans onto her plate. He looked amused. Maybe he was joking. Doesn't seem to look like a joking type, said Chaya. Let's not set too much store by Sina. Neil pushed the dowel towards Noir, who was reaching for it. If he doesn't want to do this, we'll have to try something else. Go back to Narisi maybe, and help them somehow. It's going to be hard to defend ourselves against the king, though, said Chaya. It would be so much easier with Sina and his army of supporters on our side. The fact that we're here means he's interested, said Noir. Let's just see what he says. Chaya poured herself a glass of king coconut water and took a sip. Oh, that was delicious. Malanga peeped into the room and tapped on the side of the door. All finished here? Are you ready? Sina will see you now. Yes, coming, said Chaya. Sorry, there's a man cycling up the road. They scrambled up quickly and followed him through the living room to another wing of the house. At last. Remember, children, this is the true monarch of Cerebid, who will, with the help of all the people, take the throne soon. Be respectful all the time. Even if, Malanga hesitated, he doesn't demand it. Malanga stopped at a pair of double doors and knocked softly before it was opened by a servant inside. Malanga gestured them to go in and stood with his back against the door. The children entered a large square room with arched windows along one side, overlooking a grassy courtyard fringed with anthuriums, a type of flower. An open-fronted cabinet stood opposite, filled with brassy ornaments. And there, standing in front of it, was the soon-to-be ruler of their island. Chaya gawped and heard the sharp intake of breath from Noir next to her. Where the king was tall and muscular and brown, Sina was lightly built, slim and darker skinned. But that wasn't the only thing. Cerebrib's new monarch wasn't the king's half-brother at all. It was the king's half-sister. So she'll be queen, not king. Chapter 35. Thank you for coming to see me, said Sina. You're welcome, said Chaya. For once, she was speechless. I've been hearing about your exploits ever since the Jewel Faith, Sina laughed, and her tiny bell-like earrings shook. She wore coloured trousers and fitted bodice, and her voice sounded vaguely foreign. As if reading Chaya's mind, she said, I've been away a long time, ever since my brother, the king, sent us away. Of course, the king hadn't banished both of his half-brother and Of course, the king had banished both his half-brother and half-sister. The real Sina died a long time ago. Her voice was full of pain, as if she hadn't got over all those years. Ever since, I vowed to come back and take the throne and free this country from my tyrant of a brother. My journey back nearly took my life, but I'm here now and ready to serve Sabrina. Ready to serve Sabrina? She sounded completely unlike the king. She laughed again and looked at the three of them one by one. Is anybody going to even speak to me? Sorry, Your Highness, said Nil. What should we call you? My name is Princess Leela. I know it's a lot to take in, she said. It didn't set out I didn't set out to deceive anyone. I took on my brother's name and identity for my own safety as we travelled, and many people here don't know that he's gone yet. They assume it's he who is back for the throne. Chaya nodded, as did she. Chaya, is it? Said the princess. Is your father the arrested headman? Yes, he needs our help. All of our village does. I understand. I'm so sorry this has happened to you. I'll do everything I can to put things right. Thank you. We should act fast, though. The people are really suffering. Leela nodded and turned to Nil. Can I ask you something, Nilan? I'm not judging you, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to. I'm just trying to understand this. Why did you steal the jewels? He didn't, Chaya said very straight. I am the jewel thief. Leela didn't miss a beat. Same question to you, then. Someone I knew, a boy my age, got attacked by a crocodile and needed to have some specialist treatment with a medicine man in Galley. His family needed to urgently come up with some money or he'd have lost his leg completely. One of his brothers even works at the palace, but there was no help for them. I see. That doesn't seem fair, does it? Leela seemed to be absorbed in her thoughts for a bit before she looked at them again. We weren't ready for this so soon. We need to gather more supporters, consolidate our position further. But you are right, this is the best time to strike, and most importantly, this is the time the people need it the most. The people in Narisi would listen to us, said Chaya. We can get them on your side, and if you bring your people, we could take on the king together. You're getting ahead of yourself there, children, said Malanga, speaking for the first time from his position at the back of the room. It's not as easy as you think. I agree with Malanga, said Leela. I won't jeopardise the safety of my troops by leading them on foolish errands. We have no idea if your villagers will be receptive to you after all that's what's happened. Chaya's heart sank. Oh, of course they will. They're our people, though. We will do our best to convince them, Princess Leela, said Nil. You can count on us, we promise. I know I can, said Leela. That's why I think you should go to your village and try and get your people on our side. But I'm not risking the lives of my army by taking them there when I don't know what your villagers' reactions would be. They might still be on the side of the king. That's right, Malanga nodded in approval. The princess is right to cover all bases. Your safety is important, Leela. It will be up to the kids to go and meet your people, of course. Oh, no, you've got this completely wrong, Malanga, said Leela. I won't risk my troops marching in there. I'll be going to Narisi with the children myself. So she didn't want to risk the army's lives, but she thought, well, but I need to go with the children. So the princess is now on team children. And we'll fit another chapter in quickly. Chapter 36. Chaya's heart soared at Leela's words. Leela, you can't be, began Malanga. The princess waved him away. I insist. How can I get to know anything about the kingdom if I'm going to lead it, shut up in here, away from it all? Chaya grinned sideways at the others. She had so much admiration for the sister of the king who'd put herself in danger for the people. So it's settled then, said Chaya. We'll go in. We will, said Leela. Our task is to meet your people and get them on side. We can take a couple of gamage men with us. Remember, they were the people in the woods, like the bandits. My supporters, led by my own general, will amass in the jungle, close to Narisi, ready to attack. As soon as we give the signal that all of this is ready, they'll come in. We'll need the villagers to be prepared and willing with whatever weapons they have. Noir had gone white, and Leela had noticed. You have one task, said Leela, and only one. All you need to do is help get your people on board and have them join against us against the king. Without that, my people can't advance, and they won't advance, because I need to think about everyone else I'm bringing in too. Of course, said Chaya. Once you've done that, Leela looked quite serious. I need you three out of the way. I cannot emphasise that enough. It will make me very angry if you don't heed this. Chaya looked away. Go back to the village and hide like cowards while people fight for their lives. She didn't know about Neil or Noir, but if Leela thought she was going to listen to that, she was very much mistaken. And at that, we will leave it there. Okay, so these few chapters have been quite eventful. So we've learned the king's brother is actually dead. So the person coming to overthrow the king is the king's half sister. Okay, now she seems quite fierce and determined herself, because ideally the children wanted her army to go in and help them overthrow the king, but they said no, not yet, we need to get the villagers on board, and I'm not going to risk the safety of my people to do that, so I will come with you children instead. Okay, but it's just finished it off by giving the command that as soon as they start the fight, the children have to step aside because they're children. But obviously Chaya, who thinks she knows best in every situation, isn't up for that, and that would put her in a lot of danger yet again. So we will see what happens tomorrow.